This is the MIG 200 Pro from Sefaspe. They've been a long-time collaborator with the channel. And they sent me this machine to review so I could share it with you. So I'm going to be comparing this multi-process welder to my current primary multi-process welder, which is the Yes Welder MIG 205DS. It is my primary, it is a nice welder, I like it, and this is going to be a comparison video for me to decide if this is going to become my primary and replace the Yes Welder. So what comes in the box? We have the MIG torch, which this is just a generic, basically it's a Lincoln torch. It's going to take the Lincoln consumables. Same with the Yes Welder. They take the Lincoln Magnum 100L consumables. You can find them at Tractor Supply, Amazon, Harbor Freight, basically anywhere. Comes with a nice ground clamp. Comes with the stinger, which off the bat I don't like because the grooves that hold your welding rods are almost non-existent. They're pretty smooth, pretty flat. Comes with an adapter 110 to 220 because this is a dual voltage machine. You can plug it into 110 or 220. Comes with a multi-tool with a contact tip. It comes with a user manual with a quality control sticker, and it's got all your drive wheels plus some extra contact tips. This is a 7-in-1 welder, so flux core, MIG, stick, TIG, spot weld, spool gun, you name it, it can do it. I'm probably missing some stuff. It's synergic welding. I believe it has VRD in here too for stick welding, which is a voltage regulating device or something like that. It like drops the voltage so you don't shock yourself. It's got so much safety stuff. Hot start, anti-stick, arc force. Really nice machine for not that much money. This is $284 on Amazon. I paid $370 2 years ago for this Yes Welder. I paid my own money for it. I went ahead and found some 030 wire that I had laying around. This is just Harbor Freight welding wire. We're gonna go ahead and set the machine up. We're gonna hook the gas up. We're gonna feed the wire. We're gonna take a look at the drive mechanism inside here, and then we'll get it set up and we'll start doing some weld tests. All right, so coming from the regulator to our machine, this is where you plug in your gas. It says gas in. It's kind of hard to mess that up, but it comes from there, plugs in here, and this line does come with the machine. There's our on-off switch, and then if you guys want to know the specifics of the machine, there you go. You guys can pause it there and take a look at that. All right, we're going to take the end of the MIG torch, and we're going to plug it into this big hole here, and we're going to line all these other little things up with the holes that they're intended for. Just like so. Looking at the drive assembly here, this is what we want to see. It's made out of mostly metal, other than the cap here and the tensioner. Everything else is made out of metal. This is what you're going to see on more quality welders. Some of the cheaper ones, you'll have plastic in here, and that tends to break over time. But it's nice to see that this welder comes with an all-metal drive assembly. Now, I did run into an issue out of the box where I couldn't put any tension on this wire because this feed tube right here was in the way. It was actually hitting the wheel, and I was putting tension on the tube instead of the wire. If you want to see that video, I did make a YouTube short on that. I'll put a link up here or a link down in the description below. But now that we got the wire fed, we can go ahead and turn the machine on, feed the wire through the gun, and we're ready to weld. All right, taking a look at the modes. Right now we're currently in stick mode. I cannot adjust the voltage. There's no special function there. I can adjust the amperage. No special function. This machine does have a VRD, which is a voltage regulating device. It's going to drop your voltage to a safe level when you're not welding. That way you don't accidentally shock yourself. I can turn that on and off by pushing the on and off button, and you can see the voltage drop there. If I hit mode again, it's going to take me in a lift TIG. No adjustment on the voltage, but there is adjustment on the amperage. No special functions there. And it shows you that we're going to be using argon gas. You can't change that. Push MIG one more time. We're going to go in here to the MIG setup. There's voltage here. I can do inductance here. I can change the wire feed speed, inches per minute here. No function there. I can choose between the different materials. Right now I got iron, stainless steel, flux, and aluminum MIG. Back to iron. Over here we have 2T and 4T, or we have spool gun. 2T, you're going to have to squeeze the trigger and hold the trigger while you weld, and then let go, and the weld stops. If we go over to 4T, you're going to squeeze the trigger once, let go, do your weld, and then have to squeeze the trigger again to get it to stop. That's more for long continuous welds. I can choose between CO2 and mixed gas, which is what we're going to be using. I can also choose wire diameter here, 0.023, 0.030, which is what we're going to be using because that's the wire size I found in my barn. 035, 040, and then back to 023. All right, we're going to push mode one more time, bringing us into Synergic MIG. Right now we're set on iron. We can choose our material here. We can also choose our wire thickness. We can also choose what gas we're using. If you don't know what Synergic MIG is, all it means is as you adjust your wire feed speed, your voltage is going to match. And then we do have some fine tuning. Hit mode one more time. It's going to take us into spool gun. We don't have one, but all the settings are here. All right, now we're ready to weld. This is a 2x72 grinder build that I'm doing on this channel. These are the upright risers, and the whole grinder will rotate right here. I'm going to take my all thread through here so I can get the spacing up top right, and then I got to do some tweaking down here to make sure the bottom is evenly spaced, so it's evenly spaced all the way up. And then we'll go ahead and throw some welds front and back, and you guys will be able to see how well this welder actually welds. So let's cut to a montage of me fabricating this up, and then we'll get to welding. Alright, now that we've taken a look at the functions, it's time to actually start welding with this thing. 4 welds in total. I might go all the way around just to play with the machine. It's not necessary. I just need to put welds on the front and the back of both pillars. And then that's going to be the demonstration for the MIG side of that. For the stick welding, I'm just going to grab some scrap metal and just do some passive with some 7018 and see how it welds with the stick welding. So let's turn the gas on, let's get the settings set, and then let's get to welding. Alright, as you guys can see, messing with my settings on each weld. I upped my voltage and increased my wire feed, which makes it look like it's starting to kind of pile up there. Right there is probably my better looking weld. That one was slower wire speed and 20.8 on the voltage. I am welding with 0.030. And then right here, I started playing with the settings again. I think I upped the voltage, left the wire feed speed the same. It looks decent. That's the first weld I did. It looks like crap. I'm going to go back over that one. I'm probably just going to play around and go all the way around each tube, even though I don't need to, because this is not going anywhere now. So yeah, I'm going to keep playing with the machine. Alright, so you know, that's the first weld I did. It looks like crap. And then I played with it there and it started looking a little bit better. And then I just kept playing and playing and playing. Gun angle's bad there. So then we get over to the back side and that weld looks pretty good. Those welds around there look pretty good. So overall, this thing does weld pretty good. It's just, you gotta play with the settings and get used to it. And yeah, it's a lot of figuring out with a new machine. This one I have set pretty good, but I gotta do some playing with that one and get it figured out. All right, well, that's proof it does weld. Although the welds do not look good, I ended up going around and doing a second pass all the way around it. And now they kind of look hideous. Should have stuck to one pass all the way around it. I think it looked better, even though some of the welds were still getting the machine tuned in. I'm going to have to play with this on synergic mode for a while, until I get used to the machine. Like I said with the Yes Welder, I have a setting on there that for this type of stuff, it works pretty well. There's only like little minute tweaks I can do to make it any better. But with this machine being new, obviously it's going to weld a little different, just like driving a new car. Everything is a little different. I do like the adjustability on it. And then when I can't get that right, I like being able to switch over to synergic welding and set my setting and then put out a halfway decent weld. So I'm going to let this cool down. We're going to switch over to some stick welding. I'll make 1 or 2 passes with the 7018 and we'll see how that does. And then we'll call it good. And we'll decide whether or not this machine is going to replace my Yes Welder or not. All right, we're ready to stick weld. I have my stinger plugged into the electrode positive for 7018. I have the machine switched over to stick welding, and the machine is set at 138 amps. Anywhere between 150 and 100 is kind of the sweet spot for this, for 7018, so we'll play around with that a little bit. This is still plenty hot, and my base is trying to warp. So we're going to leave that in place and let it cool down naturally like it is. So I have some 1/8 inch plate and I have a piece of steel plate from the table from when I put the vise mount in here. So we're just going to weld them together and we're going to make a couple passes just to see how this thing does stick welding. So let's get this mocked up. All right, as you guys can see there, that's way too hot. It's just, yeah, it's just way too hot. That's just not a real good weld there. So we'll flip it around to the other side. We'll do another one. All right, so that's the first weld. That right there is the second weld. We're getting close. My weld got a little short down here, so I started lifting. That's why it kind of looks weird. We're getting close on the amps. There's still a lot of heat there. I got one more rod. We'll make another pass here at a lower amp and see what happens. All right, I have another stick of 7018. I lowered the machine down to 115. We're still plenty hot with our welds. You know, it does pretty good. It strikes up the arc real easily. I have no issues there. So far, it's doing a very good job. All right, there's the weld. Looks a lot better at 115. That's 7018. And let's go ahead and wrap up. All right, so 7018, it welds just fine, stick welding. This is a very good multi-process welder. From what I did here, a lot of the welding is me in trying to manipulate the settings, trying to figure it out. Every time you buy a brand new welder or weld on a different welder, it's like driving a brand new car. Every car has their settings that they like to run at, and it's no different with a welder. The Yes welder, you know, I got it set pretty close to where it needs to be. I got to do some more welding with this to get it close to where it needs to be. But for the time being, I'm going to be running on synergic welding. That's just going to fix all the issues until I get used to welding with this, and then I can start playing with the manual settings a little bit more. Does the Sefaspe replace my Yes welder? Yes. I'm going to be putting this on the welding cart as my primary, and Yes welder is going on a shelf or to my dad or to whoever wants it. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to go inside. I'm going to eat some dinner. I'm going to relax for the night, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.